Fidget spinners.
Fidget spinner.
Yeah, we should get a fidget spinner then one day. Oh, blooming heck, we're live. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Hi. Hello. Welcome to another Monday night at the bench with me and this man down here somewhere, wherever he is, down here.
Hello there, everybody. How are you doing? I don't know where my accent's supposed to be. I'm just loading up comments, so talk amongst yourselves for a moment.
We always have to this. We have to wait for the comments to load so we can see who's with us and who's in and everything like that. But welcome once again to the eModels live stream from Ted here at eModels, emodels.co.uk, and also Fox, the amazing man, model making guru, Fox Wolf.
Hello. How is everybody this evening?
Hopefully tonight we'll have our usual round of make it up as we go along, as we usually do. But before we start,
professionally so. Yeah. I have the chat open, by the way.
Right, you have the chat. Right. You've got it open before I have. Just before we start, I'd just like to bring to your attention some of the rules we've now got. Well, not so much rules, but just the sort of guidance that we've now got down below in the description of what's going on. Just that it's an eModels channel. Would appreciate it if you didn't sort of publicise your own channels or other websites and links like that. And remember, it's a family orientated program as well, so sort of try and keep the bad language and such to a minimum. We appreciate there might be a little slip of the finger and such like that, but remember, it is a family show, and we're all here to enjoy ourselves, and hopefully we'll have some moderators in the chat with us tonight that'll be able to look after you and help you along. So please, if the moderator is trying to do his job, don't try and give him abuse or anything like that, and enjoy yourselves. But welcome. It was a good show last week. We had an amazing surprise giveaway at the end, and it's just a matter of we don't know what's going to happen tonight, so you might have to hang on until the end of the show and see what happens. Whether the giveaway, we will have the usual eModels will giveaway. I
wasn't ignoring you, Ted. I was doing chats.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the chat up myself. So if you take over the chat,
yes.
What have you been doing this week, Mr. Fox?
What have I been doing this week? I've been doing very tiny things. My plan was that I get my Warhammer Land Speeder thing done last week, and this week I'd start today on the Eagle, the Gorson Eagle. Not finished it yet because I've spent the last 5 days painting all the little tiny dudes that won't come out on camera, and I'm thoroughly enjoying painting. I've not painted proper figures since I was like 15, and I've thoroughly enjoyed these, but it's a lot of work, tiny details, and all these like do glazes so I can do lots of highlights and things like that, and painting all the little metal things. And I spent yesterday rather pleasant few hours painting paint chips on figures this big. It's kind of awesome. So that's just coming to a wrap up now, so hopefully with a couple of days that should be done, and then the Eagle starts. But I've been enjoying it, painting these little figures. If you've never tried figure painting before, you know, little miniature figures or anything like 1/35th soldiers, give it a try. It's actually really relaxing. Whereas a model can be stressful, painting a figure, just painting, it's not actually too much of a build. But the advice I would give is, as Duncan would say, thin your paints, too thin coats. Always thin your paints. Don't try and paint with tomato paints because they don't work when you brush them very well.
Right, I've got the chat up now, so I can keep up with what's going on. If my agent would like to scroll through as fast as you guys can chat.
I've already lost the thread now, the chat.
Yeah, we just avert your eyes from the screen for 5 minutes, for 20 seconds, and it's gone. It's all gone up. I've been on with U-Boat this week. Really, I'm almost ready to start and get the editing done for the video. Everything's glued in now. All the deck head and everything is all there. Probably tonight after this live stream, I might give myself a bit of time just to do some weathering. There's the floor, as we said, it looks like a transistor set out of a TV last week. So everything's all done now.
Did you realise that like most of the people in the chat don't even know what transistor is?
Yeah.
They're not our generation.
Yeah. Unfortunately, by the time it all goes together, all that work that we've been doing, we can't see much of it. But never
Looks
mind.
like a diner.
Yeah.
Looks like a diner. I can get my milk and hamburger.
Yeah, I could say, serve you some burgers and hot dogs and things like that. But that's all going together. I'm going to show you this time about putting the lights in and doing some soldering and such on it. And I've also been making some little bits and pieces of detail, just having a little go at it, just to show you something like that. And then it'll all come together and I can bash the video out. So hopefully, before you see me next week, you should be have been able to see what the U-boat is, what the U-boat's on with. Anyway, I've got the chat up, so if you do, we do have some questions already been sent in by email, and I'm looking a little bit out of focus there.
Yeah. Yeah. If you've got any questions, obviously the chat is whizzing by really, really, really fast. So we're going to do our best to actually pick out questions from the chat. We've got some questions by email. We're going to do our best to pick out questions from the chat. If you've got a question that's not been answered, you're welcome to type it again. If we do miss it, our apologies. It's just the chat is going so fast, it's hard for us to make sure we don't miss everything. And obviously we've got to do this glamorous being on television thing as well, so that kind of gets in the way. But we will do our best to answer as many questions that are in the chat.
Yep. Now we'll see we've got Adam and TK in as moderators this evening.
Will's in as well.
Will's in as well. Oh, hi, Will.
Yeah, our little flightless friend.
Oh, good. Oh, I haven't seen it yet because the chat's just running away with us this evening. So we do apologise if. Yeah, you can.
Sorry, David Barker says Pete can't be on. Ted's not got a tie on. Yeah, no. The boss isn't in tonight.
Yeah, the boss isn't in tonight. He's gone, so I've taken the tie off. Relaxing. I've got my slippers on.
And I've got my shorts on. I've got my shoes and socks off.
I'm just going to read a magazine about flesh tones.
That's one of those specialist magazines, Ted.
One of those flesh tone special magazines.
Yeah. Gentleman's Quarterly.
Yeah, we could do that while the boss is here. Right. Yeah. If you do have access to your email and you don't have to log out of anywhere to get in, you could send me a question on email at ted@emodels.co.uk and it'll flash probably straight through. That just gives you a chance to get your question answered rather than us trying to pick it out in chat, because I've got my screen down here at the moment. So that's that. But at the moment, we'll go across and have a look at some of those questions we've got.
Just really quickly, while you're looking for the questions, a few people have mentioned that the images seem to be out of sync with the sound, like we're talking and the lips aren't in sync. It might be your internet connection, or it may just be that we've got it set for maximum interaction, so your chat is as fast as possible. So that might mean occasionally the sync does go out a little bit. We meant to change it since last time, and I totally forgot. So we'll try it the other way around next time. So don't worry. It's either your internet's a little bit slow or it's us. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And somebody did say maybe Ted and Fox are just like that in normal life.
It is. Well, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Of course.
We're in our past life we used to make spaghetti westerns.
Yes. You dishonor my father. I kill you. That's the worst joke in the world.
Let's go that way. Anyway, let's have a look at some of these questions that we've got.
Yes.
We'll go down. The first one is from Alan Kelly. Hi, Alan. I think you're in tonight. I think I've seen him somewhere. His question is, he wants to create some custom decals for a car that he's planning on doing. Now, I've tried in the past to create his own decals, but unfortunately without success. Any tips or guidance would be helpful. Well, it depends on the detail that you want from your decals, how fine that detail is going to be, and can you actually produce it at home good enough on your home printer, because that's generally the only way that you can do it. If you have a laser printer, you can get a lot finer detail than your standard printer, the one you buy for 50 quid from an electric store.
Curry's,
Curry's. Other stores are available.
Yeah, other stores are. Printers now stock in eModels.co.uk.
Yeah, that's generally the way you do it, and just print it off, provided you're not trying to get anything really too small. But if you are trying to get some sort of specialist type tiny decals, there are a few guys out there in the internet world who will do them for you, and I think you've had experience with that before, Fox.
Yes. If you're doing your own decals, just to kind of expand on what Ted said, there are two ways to do it. You can do it yourself, or that's whether you've got a inkjet printer or a laserjet printer. Ribbon printers, yeah, hello 1985, that's not going to work. The other way to do it is to get a third party to do it. Now, if you're doing your own decals, it's obviously means you've got a lot of freedom to do what you want. You have to make sure what you'll need to get is, one, you'll need to get some decal paper, and a special decal paper. You'll need to have an printer, obviously, and you'll need a fixative spray, which is what creates the carrier film effectively that goes on the paper. And typically when you buy decal paper, it usually comes with fixative, or the manufacturer makes the same stuff. There's two things you need to be aware of. If you're using an inkjet, get inkjet paper. If you're using a laserjet, get laserjet paper. There's two different types of decal paper for inkjet and laserjet. Don't get them mixed up. The other thing is, if you're printing your own decals, you can't print white. No matter what you do, unless you've got a $10,000 Alps printer, which is kind of old now, you can't print white. So there's two types of paper. There's clear decal paper, which is fine for colored designs and all kinds of stuff, or there's specifically white decal paper, which when you cut it out and get your decal off, it has white backing. So if you want to have anything white on there, you print it onto the white paper. So do make sure, it depends what, if you print a design that's got loads of white things and you print it on clear paper, you're just going to have clear parts. The printer doesn't actually print white, but on white paper, it leaves those bits clear, so the white paper shows through when you transfer it as decal. It's kind of confusing, but just make sure you get the right one. The other option, of course, is to get a third party to do it. There are plenty out there, from big companies to small companies. What I would say with those is, don't bother with big companies, because if you go to a big company that does lots of printing, they'll say, that'll be brilliant, that'll be 10,000 sheets minimum order. You don't want that. You want maybe one sheet of decals. So have a look around on the interwebs. I've used one called Samuel Decal. It's well known in the Gunpla world. He's in Hong Kong. It's just look up Samuel Decal on the interwebs. He's very, very good and very reliable, but he can be a bit slow because he's a one-man band, so it takes him a while to get back. You have to email him and he sends you an invoice. But there are plenty of other little tiny garage companies out there that do them. But if you can make your own, if you've got a printer and you get yourself some decal paper and some fixative, give it a try. Because even with an inkjet printer, you can get some really good results. From even complex designs can come out looking quite good. Just remember, you can't print white.
Yeah, just when on that note there, if you do have access to a laser printer, I'll just share the screen a moment. I'll just show you that eModels do have sheets of clear decal sheets in A4s, but these are suitable for laser copiers. Now, maybe if you have access to a laser copier, maybe you can do it after work or something like that. Maybe if work's got one, you could have a go on there. And it is quite expensive. It's £3 a sheet.
It's not a cheap option doing your own well, it's not an expensive option, but you have to plan ahead and don't just use one sheet for 2 decals. Fill the sheet with lots of decals that you might need in the future, because they just make the most of it and you can use that. As well, if you've only got an inkjet printer, don't panic. It may just be that the guys at eModels just don't have it in stock at the minute. That's why it's not on the website. So if you've got an inkjet printer and not a laserjet, drop them a line. I'm sure they'll be able to get hold of some. If they've got the stuff for the laserjet, they'll be able to get it for the inkjet. Same with the fixative spray. Doesn't appear to be in stock at the moment, but give the guys at eModels a shout. Drop them an email. They'll see if they can get some for you.
Yeah, as I said, just remember that you're not going to get those fine details, maybe some printing, removed before flight type things for 1/72 scale or anything like that. You're not going to get.
You get pretty good, but you won't get cartograph quality decals. But you can get some good. Depends on the printer, obviously. Like you said, if it's a cheap printer, It's not going to be great, but
yeah. I remember when it comes out your printer as well, don't touch it, let it dry,
yes.
because it'll smudge.
One other thing as well, before you do it, just practice which way up the paper needs to go with a sheet of normal paper, right, top and bottom on it, and make sure you put, because if you put your one sheet of £3.50 print decal paper and do the wrong side, yeah, you're ordering a second sheet. So just make sure you get it the right way around. There was one last thing as well. No, I can't remember what it was. Obviously, you'll need something to make your decal design, so something like Photoshop or something to edit your images. But don't need to explain that.
Right, I think that hopefully answered your question, Alan.
Somebody in the chat mentioned bacon. I'm going now. See ya.
Bacon with HP.
Bacon now.
Bacon with HP.
I don't know how we're talking about food.
Yeah, Mr. Loth was asking. I just caught in there. Mr. Loth was asking about his APC that he won. I think it was last week. Yeah, it will be with you ASAP. It will have been shipped by eModels. It's just down once it leaves eModels. They have no control about how it gets to you, especially if you're in another country. It's all down to couriers and flights and things like that. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. It'll be with you soon. Right, shall we move on to the next question? We've got a few questions coming in tonight.
Somebody did ask if I get banned for. Chris Williams asked if I got banned for advertising. No, because eModels don't do printed decal, so that's fine.
Yeah. Right. Paul Stewart. Hi, Paul. Hello, Mr. Tedward. Yeah, that's Sunday names. I've managed to get some fingerprints into my oil weathering on a model. Ooh.
Oh
dear. We've been there. We've got a big thumbprint right in the middle of a windscreen or something like that. We've all been there. Don't worry about it.
I've got it today. I've been painting miniatures. I've got my thumb where you get the paint off on your thing. I've got loads of paint on my thumb. Yeah, I touched a miniature with the paint on my thumb. I was like, it's 4 days of work ruined.
Yeah, I remember going out. I did it the opposite way around. I remember doing some spray painting once, and I didn't wear the rubber gloves like I used to, like I usually do. And you know how you can get spray paint on your nails, but it come off your skin, but it stays on your nails. And I went to work with red fingernails, and I was getting some strange looks that I've been applying nail varnish. No,
did it go with the police uniform, Ted? Really? Did it?
Yeah, it's the black actually set it off. It was quite good because when I just did the color, it, you know, and, yeah.
Did you sachet, darling? Did you sachet and twirl?
Yeah.
Work it, darling. Work it.
Yeah, I'd be glitzy truncheon.
Did you have a little tank?
Right, he says, he's got thumbprints on his model. Will he need to completely redo the gunk wash and streaking, or can I sort of fudge it and hide it without losing all the previous work? Well, I think we're both going to say fudge it. Fudge it.
Yeah, if it's in the weathering stage, then you're kind of home free, because you can just add more weathering to cover it up. Or if it's like, if you've gone really thick with the oil paint and you can see the fingerprint like hit peaks and troughs, you could just sand it, very, very fine sanding sponge, just to soften it off, and then just fudge it, just put some more weathering over it. If it's really bad, depends what the model is, but if it was, say, a Millennium Falcon or something, and I made it, I'd just put a blaster mark. I'd just get some oil paint and make a blast mark, covers up all kinds of sins. I built Freedom Gundam, and it was a commission. Was it? Yes, it was. And I'd just finished it. It was all painted, all built, looked brilliant. And I went to do the gunk wash, and I think when I put a decal on, the micro sol had eaten into the clear coat a little bit. So when I did the gunk wash, I got this wonderful big fat tide mark around where the decal was, and I could not get it out. So I just said, that's where we've been hit by a laser. Put a little blast mark, painted on a little blast mark with some faded shading and smoke and stuff. Brilliant. And the client loved it. He was like, it's brilliant. Yeah. So if it's weathering, you could just do more weathering, fudge it.
Yeah, a lot of people say that to do weathering, you should have a perfect paint job to make a good weathering. To be honest, yeah, it's nice to have a perfect paint job, but weathering is going to hide a multitude of sins. And
I'll let the viewers into a secret. I don't tell anybody this, viewer, so it's just between you and me. Don't put it on the internet or anything, right? But if I could do perfect paint jobs, I wouldn't do weathering. But if you know, I do weathering all the time. Why? Because I can't do perfect paint jobs.
Yeah.
Weathering hides a multitude of sins, and by a multitude I mean all of them. So Yeah, I think he's quite lucky if he's in the weathering stage. He's dodged a bullet there. It's like, yeah, just weather it some more.
I think the day that you will see me and Fox doing super shiny race cars or super shiny prestige cars will never happen.
People have offered me interesting amounts of money. When I was doing commissions, I don't do them now, but when I used to do commissions, people would offer me interesting amounts of money to do various things, and I've turned them down because they wanted. One chap asked me to do a Learjet, but he wanted, like, you know, you go into like a swanky office and it's got a model of a Learjet there and it's all shiny, and he's obviously paid a fortune for it because he's a big executive and he's got this like model. He wanted that, and it's like, I can't do it. I cannot do you a nice, clean, shiny. I just, on principle, I won't do it because I will just hate you and everybody else and myself. I'll just turn into a giant spike. So, you know, I turn down money for doing, because it's not what I enjoy doing. I don't do the most perfect paint jobs, but then I have fun doing all the weathering. So over the years, I've focused on the weathering more and learned to do that more, because I know that getting a perfect paint job is my weakness. It's my kryptonite.
Yeah.
I gave up trying to do cars and bikes and things years ago because I was like, you know what, I suck.
I must admit, I'm a bit like you. I really got into weathering just because I made a few boo-boos and I started weathering and enjoyed it, and here I am. Weathering everything that doesn't stand still. But anyway.
But if it's a really deep, visible thumbprint, though, then same as if you get a thumbprint or a fingerprint of paint, just sand it. You can actually sand, and it's also a handy tip if you paint a model and your paint finish is a bit rough or it's got some brush marks if you brush painted it. And I did this on my Buster Gundam. If you say brush painted and you've got roughness or anything like that, just get a really fine sanding sponge. I haven't got one here, but a really fine one. Not a polishing sponge, but like the last one you do before you use a polishing sponge, and just gently go over the paint. If it's good paint, it should be fairly hard. You can just take the edge off without taking the paint off, and it will just smooth it down. It will get rid of all kinds of brush marks and fingerprints and paint. So it might work for your weathering layer as well. Just give it a little sand. Another handy tip, when I built a Millennium Falcon, 5 mods Millennium Falcon, I put the decals on, and the decals, you know how the decals wrinkle up when you put microset on them and then they flatten down? Mine didn't flatten down. They were wrinkly. So I sanded them. I sanded the decals and they came out perfectly flat, and they also looked a bit faded and weathered. So you can sand painted and decaled models. Try it. It's worth a try. Somebody did mention, I think somebody mentioned about it being cold up north. I assume because we've got our jackets on.
It's like, I just read that comment.
Degrees. It's 400 degrees where I am right now, and I'm shedding pounds as we speak.
Chris Williams says he's just getting warmer by watching us in our jackets.
I'm naked below the waist, so
yeah.
You didn't want to know that. Luckily, I don't.
You too. I've got the door open, got the fan on. I've got ice cubes down my trousers.
I've got the window open, and Ted could hear the dog 3 doors down from my house barking. So you might get it later on. It's the dog I mentioned in my video with the rubbish bark. It wouldn't shut up.
Right. So that hopefully you get yourself sorted, Paul.
Yes. And just fudge it. Try sanding it. If not, fudge it. Fudge it. More weathering. There's never a time not to do more weathering.
Another way of doing it is if it's a truck, if it's a tank, if it's a truck or it's a tank, it might well be a Gundam thing. You throw a cloth over it.
Yeah. If it's supposed to be a nice, shiny, clean motorbike or Formula 1 racing car, burn it.
Right, let's moving on to the next question.
Yes.
From Phil Davis. Is Phil with us tonight? Hi, Phil, if you are.
Many Phils.
He says, I've got a question. I don't know if you can help, but that's what we're here for. We do try to help. And if we don't know, we make it up.
Yes, we can help. That's the question. Yes. No, we can't help.
What's the best way to make smoke trails for a diorama? For example, rockets and missiles. Thanks a million.
Come on, let you play with this one.
Rocket trails, smoke in dioramas, quite easy to do. Acrylic rod, a thin acrylic rod to hold your model in the position that you want it to be, and then add to that a trail of cotton wool or some light fibers. I often find sometimes not so much cotton wool, it's really too thick and gunky. But if you go to some of these craft stalls where they do stuffing for teddy bears and things like that, they have a much softer, lighter, almost nylon type filling, and I do find that that works a lot better than cotton wool. And then apply that in the right sort of shape, form, puffiness where the puffiness needs to be, and then just you can spray it, paint it, colour it in like that, and that does give some interesting effects. And I think even if you were doing some sort of explosions, I've seen fantastic dioramas with explosions. If you put an LED light inside them and light it up, the effect is outstanding. I'm sure some of the people have seen these on Facebooks and things like that. Acrylic rod and a light fibre cotton wool style material. Have a look around. Don't just go to the chemist and get some cotton wool, but have a look around for some of the fibres, old toys and things like that.
Smooth suggests loft insulation.
Yeah, that could work.
Would probably work, yeah.
Yeah, I think some of loft insulation can get a little bit bitty, and it does tend to itch. Yeah, it just get a bit clumpy.
Yeah. But I've seen people use, like, mattress stuffing, and not cotton wool, but cotton fibre type stuff. So anything kind of stuffing material. And you can spray it if you want, like, smoky trails. You can have it starting white and airbrush smoke over it. And like Ted says, you can put LEDs in the middle of it. I've seen people where they get an acrylic rod. They have a wire with an LED on, and then they just kind of put the cotton stuff around it to hide the acrylic rod, and the LED is orange, so it looks like an explosion. You can get some really good effects.
Yeah, I've always fancied doing it something like that myself. I've just never had the right subject to do it on. But maybe one day when I get around to building dioramas and things, I always promise myself that I'm going to build some dioramas, but never ever get around to doing it. Unlike Mr. Fox, who
Mike Mountain said K-pop.
K-pop.
I don't know what K-pop is, but that's what it's called apparently.
Yeah, I thought that was plaster. K-pop.
K-pop.
I have heard of it. It is in the building trade. I'm not quite sure what it is. It is some sort of insulation. Yeah, but have a look around. Don't just stick yourself to cotton wool. There's a lot of stuff out there. Have a look around the craft shops. You'll find some really light coloured foamy stuff. Just wondering if the wife has left anything in the workshop. No, fortunately not. Never mind.
She's not left like a little teddy bear stuffing or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be bad news when the granddaughter comes home and find teddy bear ripped open and all the stuffing out of it.
Mom! The good thing is, if you use something like the stuffing type stuff, you can get it quite wispy. The one advantage of cotton wool is you can get it into thin wisps. So if you're doing, like, say, smoke out of an exhaust or a rocket engine or something, that's good for clouds. But the cotton wool is quite good for wisps. So if you've got, say, I don't know, a fire and you want wispy smoke coming out or something like that, that can be teased into quite nice wisps. But you'd have to seal it in something to make sure it didn't just go over time. So obviously, seal it in your matte varnish. But do testing first, because some things, if you spray them in any kind of sealant or varnish, they might just clump up and look like drowned rat. So have some fun stuffing, cotton, stuff like that.
Yeah, experiment. That's the name of the game. Experiment. Trial and error until you find something that hits. Usually, when I'm scratch building or anything like that, I'll just wander around the house looking at all sorts of things, and then suddenly something will strike, and I'll think, "Oh wow, this thing. Where's this from? Oh, it's at the top of the airbrush thinner." 116.
Yeah, you know what really happens, Ted, is you walk around the house and you find something and you go, "Oh wow," and then you look to the side and see Mrs. Ted and you're like, "I'll just put that back."
Yeah.
Nothing to see in here.
There's always something that comes from it. Have a box of bits in your building box, and you never know when they're going to come in useful. Yeah.
Oh, Tony Black says K-pop is a plant material. So I'm guessing it's like some kind of fibrous stuff. I'll have to look into that.
After the live stream, I'll Google it. Yeah.
Yes. Amongst other things.
We shall enlighten our knowledge about K-pop.
Yeah. Not K-pop. That's a kind of music.
Right.
Not K-pop.
All right. Right. Next question. Please do continue sending your questions in. It's working quite well. The eModel emails are coming in.
Yes, I'm just having a quick scroll through the chat to see if we've got any questions. Oh, here we go. Straight away, actually. Well, first of all, Paul Stewart says the fingerprints are on the side of his AT-AT. Is that at? Might sneak a bit more gun con. Yeah, weather it. Arbor Pendragon has one of those moments that makes every model maker just kind of die a little bit inside. He says, I just broke the glass panel in my B17 canopy, I assume. I can either fix it with clear plastic or make it look shut up. That's something weathering can't fix. Yeah. You can fix it with clear glue, but you're going to see the crack.
Yeah, I'd beat it up a little bit. Put some more sort of deflection marks or ricochet marks around the nose, the base of the windscreen, and it's had a hit, glanced off.
Yeah, if you're doing it like on an airstrip, it's just come back from its sortie. That's why it's got some dings and bullet holes.
Yeah, weathering, more weathering.
At least it's a B17. If it was like it's difficult because with a vintage plane, it's feasible to do like bullet holes and damage. If it was like a modern fighter jet, you'd be like, yeah, I'm burning it now because there's nothing I can do.
I remember building the Revell 2-seat Typhoon, the 1/36 scale one, and I was buffing the seam line out of the canopy. I was really getting a nice.
I can't believe people that put seam lines in canopies. Oh, I hate that.
And I was buffing out really successfully. Buffed it out. Then I just caught the corner of the canopy and snapped the canopy. Yes. So botched it. Botched it and left it.
If it's just a point of contention, maybe, but making your clear parts so they have seam lines on, you need to go out of business. Companies should not. Modern companies should not do. I don't think they do it anymore. I'm guessing that was an old kit. But yeah, it drives me nuts when you get a clear part with a seam line down the middle. I hate that. Doesn't happen very often nowadays, but it drives me nuts. Sorry, it was a bit of a rant there. Sorry.
No. Well, yeah, you could always try cracked canopies. You could always try the manufacturer for some spare parts. I understand Trumpeters just announced a spare parts department. I did see an email, or I think it was on the Trumpeter website or something.
Oh, cool.
So if you've got Trumpeter kits, I think they're doing spare parts now. I'm not sure how, as yet, I've yet to look for spare parts. Although I did do it on the Airfix. Airfix Typhoon. Remember when that came out? There was an issue with a cracked canopy.
You got your replacement canopy, didn't you?
Yeah, everybody was sending off to Airfix for a replacement canopy, and their spare parts department, brilliant. Almost by return post was a canopy. So that's
I've got to give a shout out, and I'm doing it through gritted teeth. I have to give a shout out to Revell. When I was making the Viper for eModels for that build, it was just missing the entire parts for the tailplane, just completely not in the kit. So I went onto the revell.de website, obviously it's German, and said, "Hi, can I get a spare part because of the reasons, please?" And like within a week, I had a spare part, and they actually sent me the whole sprue, which was quite nice. So that was really fast and efficient. So I have to give Revell a thumbs up on that one. I know I take the mickey out of them, but their customer service is pretty good.
Did you have to write in German?
I said, "Ja, das ist nicht richtig. I need to change the model is missing and not there. Danke. Das ist nicht richtig." Yeah, that's not real German. Somebody asked something. I'm sure at some point.
Voyager said you can always use 1/32 duct tape. Yeah, that'll do the job. Duct tape, fix anything. I had a question in the chat right in the middle of my screen, and then the chat scrolled, so it's gone. Brilliant. Yeah. If you had that question in the middle of Fox's screen, if that was you, just post it again.
Yes. Do feel free to post some questions in the chat because I'm going around.
Right, let's find the next question. I think I've got another question.
Sorry, Ted. Dave Barker says, I had to replace... Oh, it's just moved. I had to replace the windscreen in that Steybark truck. He used a bit of blister packaging from a knit comb. I don't know if we need to know it from a knit comb, but yeah, blister packing. If it's a flat windscreen like a vehicle, yeah, just clear plastic like blister packaging is fine.
Right. Going back a little bit to weathering. This one's.
Can I interrupt you again, Ted? I do apologise. No, actually, you do yours first.
Right.
Because I might lose the comment if I'll carry on.
Go on. Jamie Bourne, going back to a bit of weathering on this one. Hi, Ted Foxx. He's currently working on the Revell. I mentioned that name again. 1/72 Halifax in a coastal camouflage paint scheme. Have we got any tips on what parts of the plane would have lots of weathering and others which would not have so much? Much obliged if you could answer my question. Thanks. Many thanks, Jamie Bourne. Aircraft
What was it again? It was the, what was it?
It was the Halifax in Coastal Command. The Coastal Command colours would be a lot lighter than the RAF colours, the blues and cream. Were they blue and cream?
I think they were.
Yeah, I think they were. Weathering on that will be, I wouldn't think it would be any different to any other aircraft. I would certainly do your pin washes on your panel lines and such like that. Maybe some smoke, exhaust weathering around the engines. And sort of, I wouldn't think of much chipping and such like that. Maybe on some of the leading edges. And on the props, but that would be about it.
I think chipping, you might get a little bit of sort of the metal underneath exposed, like a little bit round on the leading edges where you've got, say, like on a fighter plane where you've got the hole in the leading edge where the gun sticks out. You get the paint chipping away from there. On the edge of the covers for the wheels as they go in, that might get chipped. It's really only where there's going to be contact. So where pilots get in and out and they've got like steps they step up or handrails or anything like that, that might be chipped. And where panels are regularly removed, like the cover to the panel for ammunition that goes into the wing, anything like that, where there's regular movement of contact, that might get some very faint chipping around the edge. Bearing in mind, a lot of fighter planes just didn't last long in World War II anyway, so didn't get a chance to get too weathered.
Yeah, I'm thinking as some of the comments are coming in and mentioning it, I think your main area of interest would be around the exhaust, around the engines. You're going to get oil leaks, drips of oil, exhaust gases, and it will streak across under the wings where it's coming from the engines. Most of it will be around the engines and the wings. Not much else. I wouldn't worry about salt spray or anything like that. These things are in the air. They take rain, they'll take some hammering, but just do a nice weathering of it, really.
It's really a subtle weathering. I think a lot of the time there's some of the best weathering I've seen on things like World War II planes, not Japanese planes because they're just weathered to hell, but is where they've done very subtle stuff like a little bit of chipping in your pin washes and things and streaks. But then they may have done a little bit of just fading of the base colours. So instead of the plane just being a blue, it's each panel maybe you've got some fading between a slightly lighter and a slightly darker version of the blue, just around the panel lines. And you can do that with pre-shading, or you can do it with pastels if you want to, work some pastels into the centre of the panel so it gets lighter and lighter. Things like that. That's kind of an interesting way to make it more interesting. Pre-shading is probably a good way to go as well. That counts as weathering, sort of.
Right, I think that's about it for the email questions, and I've just spotted one in the chat before it dashes up to the top of the screen. It's from Andy B, 1967.
That's the one I was going to ask.
Oh, right. Well, your turn then. You saw it first.
Andy B, 1967. I'm guessing you're born in 1967. Back to modelling after 35 years. Good job. Painting on the sprue or after assembly, I don't get it. Painting first may result in having to sand, fill, etc. then paint. Again, your thoughts. Basically saying, should I paint on the sprue? Let me think about this. No, don't paint on the sprue. Although having said that, I've got like a sprue here and there's like 3 little parts in it I've got to paint because they're so small I can't clip them anyway. But generally, don't, because if you're painting on the sprue, you get your sprue, you prime it, you paint it, you take the part off, you clean the nubs off, you sand them down, you kind of then have to repaint the parts you've just sanded and denubbed. You're just making extra work for yourself. Yes, it's easier to handle the parts, but you're just giving yourself more work in the long run. And then, whenever you're sanding paint back and then going over it again, there's always the chance you might get a noticeable difference between what you've put on first and then the paint you've put over the top. So don't paint on the sprue. There's no harm in it. It's just you're just making extra work for yourself. All the cleanup. If you get your model, get the bits built into sub-assemblies. Always keep in mind when you're building something, can I get a paintbrush or an airbrush in there? Like don't build the whole plane with the cockpit inside and then realize you can't paint the cockpit. But go into sub-assemblies, get things built so you can get to everything and paint it, and then do the final assembly. Some kits you can just, like a tank, you can just assemble the whole thing. But yeah, I wouldn't, save for the occasional really tiny part that there's no way, like piping and rods and little things where there's no, you can't clamp it with anything to then paint it, and you can't really paint it when it's on the model. I've got a couple of bits in this one where they're just, I actually forgot them, but they're only little tiny parts of one nub, so I can do it really quickly, so it's not a problem. But generally, paint it off the sprue, much better. It's less work as well. It's always about less work.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, no sense in doing everything twice. Yeah, I've with this U-boat, I have been painting on the sprue, but in the end, I just gave up, cut all the pieces off, glued them to the model.
Because you've got 4,000 sprues as well.
I've got 4,000 sprues, and they were all over the place. So it hasn't been the easiest of tasks. So in the end, I just cut them off, glued them on, and it was easier actually to glue them on than have to try and work out which part was what from the instructions. That part was that one, and that was blue, and that one was red, and this one was, I just gave up in the end. Put them all on, then painted them. Yeah, saved myself a lot.
I mean, I know in the past, let's skirt around this one as best as we can. In some venues, there have been great discussions about painting on the sprue and not painting on the sprue, and very heated debates. There's nothing wrong with painting on the sprue. If it floats your boat, paint on the sprue. A lot of people, some people do. It's just you are giving yourself extra work, especially if it's, say, like in my case, a Games Workshop kit, or in Tony's case, he's got that Takom tank where you've got big, thick sprues and massive, massive gates and nubs. Some of the parts Tony's pulling off his sprue, they've got like the parts this big and the nubs that big. It's ridiculous. So if that was the piece you painted, and then you've got to cut it off and sand it, you're sanding all your paint off. So there's nothing wrong with painting on the sprue, but you are giving yourself extra work.
I think it's that call.
Certainly not something I would point at someone and shout at them if they did it. I'd say, well, if you want to do it.
Yeah, I think it's that call as well. If you look at the part and you think that's only held on by a small gate, that's if I cut that off, I've only got that little bit to touch up. Yeah, go for it. Paint it on the sprue, then cut that part, just touch it up and you put it on. Sometimes, by the time you've cut it off and glued it on, the part that was attached to the sprue, you're not going to see it anyway. So yeah, it's your call. Yeah, you do it as you like. Yeah.
Some of my Games Workshop kits, they've got like 35 attachment points for no reason whatsoever. So I'm not painting them on the sprue.
I did see a question just in chat about eModel stickers. When are they back in stock? Probably eModels do have some stickers. It's just I haven't got any. So where we used to do the eModels giveaway, unfortunately, I don't have any left to send out to you. So when I get
basically Ted ran out of street waffles and ate the stickers instead.
Yeah.
let's just tell them the truth, Ted. See, he's so true. He's so embarrassed. His stream froze.
Right. Yeah. So that's what's happened.
I have a question from Chris Smith.
Go on.
It's a good question. I got hold of a second-hand painted model and I want to repaint it. How do I get the old paint off, or can I just primer over it? Depends what paint was used. If it's acrylic, you can just soak the parts in. Some people have used normal household bleach. That sometimes works. I've used, if you're in the UK, I've used Oven Pride. I also use Oven Pride to take metal plating off plastic parts like chrome bumpers and stuff like that. And chrome parts in gunplate strips the metal plating off. Something like that may take it off. It may not take the primer off. Primer's kind of tough by default, so what a lot of people find is they strip the paint off, but sometimes the primer stays. That's not a problem. If it leaves primer behind, or if the paint doesn't come off, then yes, the best thing to do is give it a quick sand, unless it's a really bad paint job where you can see like fingerprints and hairs and lumps. Give it a quick sand just to rough the surface up, give it a blast of primer and start again. But bleach, the only thing I would be cautious of is if you've got a piece on it you can sacrifice, do a test first, because the last thing I'm going to do is put your lovely model into some oven cleaner or bleach and then just watch the model slowly disappear because it just dissolves. Because some plastics might be hassled and things, so it should be fine there. But give it a try. But if all else fails, just reprime it and paint again. Depends what the kit is.
Yeah, it depends what the kit is. Depends if you can get in and rub it down as well and have a go at it. Some news just off the press, hot off the press. Word is that eModels stickers will be back in store on Wednesday. Yes. Now then, another announcement for you is that on the 1st of June, it's just a week and a bit away, Fox, myself and Tony will be having a trip down to eModels.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
so, where you were going with that? What am I doing now?
Yeah, what am I doing? What are we going to do? Go sugar! I forgot I was going. I'll have to cancel that appointment. Yeah, Fox, myself and Tony, we're going to have a road trip down to eModels to see the guys down there.
Road trip.
If you're in the area, come along. We should be there sometime after lunch. So if you want to come along to eModels, meet some of us, have a look. Well, not have a look around the store, but pick some stuff up.
Free entry to everybody bringing a wallet.
Yeah, it's free entry to eModels. Yeah, but you can't get
not free exit. You can't get out.
It's not free to get out. Once you're in, we have you. So if you happen to be, it is holiday week in the UK. Kids are off school and things like that. So if you are in the area, we'd be happy to see you and sell you things. Yeah. So yeah, be nice to see you. So
we might try if we can, potentially, to do little sort of Facebooky type live streams. We'll do it on our own Facebook pages. So if you follow me, Ted and Tony, our own relevant pages, we'll see if we can do either there or in the boom hook. We'll see if we can do some kind of little waving my phone around live stream from all three of us. It might not happen.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But we'll have some fun down there. We'll see the guys, and I'll pick up some eModel stickers, and we'll start the giveaway for the stickers again.
Wait, what date are we going?
1st of June.
That might just be after Patreon payday, so I might be good. That means I'm buying stuff. We do it till after payday, so I'll take money with me.
Yeah, we will leave our wallets at home, so we won't be tempted. We will.
I need to think what I could pick up for free, so I'll need something for the eagle. The only thing I need for the eagle is like 2.5 litres of white paint.
We shall not browse around the store. We shall not be looking. No, definitely. But yeah, I'll pick up some
last time you
stickers.
said that, Ted, you came back with a compressor and a 4-foot long U-boat.
Yeah.
And you're already going for the U-boat.
What happened there?
I don't know.
Never mind. So yeah,
you want to pick up free stuff and still spend money.
So Wednesday, stickers will be back in store. So
yes.
If you can't wait for a giveaway or you missed out on a giveaway, next time you whack an order in, just ask for a sticker to be included as well. Right, let's go. I think I've had some more questions come in.
Smoo asks if eModels have got any plans to stock Tamiya's ABS glue, the blue top stuff. Drop them an email. Unfortunately, because we don't actually work for eModels, we can't tell you what's in stock and what's coming in stock. Drop them a quick email, or drop a mail to Ted at emodels.co.uk, and either they'll get back to you and let you know, or we'll be able to find out. But pretty much, if they can get it, they'll get it for you. But ABS glue itself, for some reason, quite hard to find at the best of times. It took me a long time to find some. It doesn't seem to be that common, but yes, it does exist. I'm sure they can get some.
David Barker says I need to come back with Dora. No, it's not going to happen.
See, the problem. So the reason that none of us will ever do Dora is because Ted's married, so that's never going to happen.
I won't be married if I do come back with Dora.
Yeah, I've not got the space. And what's the reason Tony can't do it? I think we've just volunteered Tony, haven't we?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Tony hasn't got an excuse. Tony, your next build is Dora.
Well, we work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So.
Right. According to people in the know, the glue is not available for sale. Because the imports are not allowed from it. There's some sort of silly law that stops the imports of the glue.
That explains why it's so hard then to get hold of normally. Because I know, for example, if you live in, say, the US, eModels can send you a lot of things. They can't send you things like spray cans because they can't send them. So it must be then the chemicals in the ABS. I mean, I've got some, and I ordered some from another on a big website named after a South American river, but that's just Joe Schmo selling from his home and doesn't care, so he'll just send it. But for obviously, for proper businesses like eModels and retailers, they have to abide by shipping regulations. So if they can't get it, if people can't send it to eModels, then
yeah. So I would guess if you're ordering it off the internet and via it'll be coming via some backdoor undeclared package that will be coming through customs and such like that. But,
somebody who either doesn't abide by the law or just doesn't care. Whereas obviously, for us guys, it's not a case in this case that eModels is doing anything. It's just they can't get anyone to send it to them. So
that's all. I did see another question that came in.
Will says for once Will's got some good news. He lives in New Zealand where he can get the ABS glue. You can't get anything else, but you can get ABS glue.
Right. This one is for a question from Matthew Drake. Question for both of us: out of all the models we've built for eModels, what's our favourite and why? I think that one from me doesn't take any particular sort of answer. Really.
I did the Striker. From the Transit, the knackered old tranny.
I love building the tank.
I would say the Eagle, but I haven't built it yet. Hang on, I've just muted you, I think, Ted. Where's your volume gone? I'd say the Eagle, but I haven't built it yet. So if it's got to be one that I've already built, I'd say. I'm thinking the Transit, because it was kind of the most weathering fun. Sounds really weird because I built the Viper and the Striker, but I'd say the Transit because it was a nice, easy build and it was lots of fun to weather.
Yeah, I think as we build the models, we tend to forget the ones that we've done in the past.
Yeah.
But obviously, my best one so far would have been the tank. I really enjoyed building the Panzer IV because of all the detail and all the weathering and everything else that went into it, and even the time scale that it took to build it. I enjoyed doing it. It was a pleasure to come and sit down at the workbench, and I look forward at times coming home to do it. But the Oshkosh behind us, I enjoyed that as well. I enjoyed them all.
The other problem we have is as well, a lot of model makers have this, that by the time you're halfway through a build, your favourite build is the one you're just about to start after you finish the one you're doing because you're bored of the one you're doing. And you can't help yourself but get excited by the next project and get distracted. Somebody did say, where's that comment gone? Mr. Loth's model making says it's going to be the Yamato Fox when you finally get to it. Yeah, that's not build free models there.
Yeah. No, we do have other models ongoing that are not. We don't build for eModels just to enjoy ourselves, and just sometimes, as I think we spoke about this last week, just breaking up the monotony of a continual build. It's nice to just get a palette cleanser and get into something else.
Paul Stewart says his knackered old tranny is finally finished, and it's all my fault for making him want to build it. And Chris Williams says it's all Fox's fault. So everything is my fault.
Yeah. Paul Stewart says he loves the Oshkosh. Well, thank you, Paul. Yeah, that's one of the reasons we'll be going down to eModels this next week. I'll be taking the Oshkosh down. So if you're ever passing eModels, not necessarily next week, if you are passing eModels and you want to drop in and have a look at the models that are in the store, just go on.
I'll be taking my Striker and the Transit, and those two.
Yeah, it's because we need the space for the rest of the builds.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's that's a question. I think I've got another one. Casper. Oh no, that's the one you've already answered. I got that one off Casper about repainting his old aircraft. So I think I've got an empty inbox. I've gone through the inbox. If there's any more questions, ted@emodels.co.uk.
In my 25 years of working in call centers, I never had an empty inbox.
That's one. Yeah, that's one thing I like about jobs, that you don't have to go in and log into a computer.
Think about being self-employed. I can delete whatever I want.
Scott Sutherland said he'd love to do that MRAP. He just doesn't have the space. It's not actually a big model. Well, you can see it is a big model, but it doesn't take up that much space. And it's a cracking build. There's not a lot of parts to it. And it's brilliant. If you wanted to get into 1/16 scale modelling, start with that, something like that, because it's dead easy.
David Barker says it is a mystery how Ted's going to fit the U-boat into his car when it's finished. Bearing in mind Ted's got a Mini. Yeah,
I've got a Mini. However, before I took on the build, when we saw this build at Telford, when we saw the model from Tupperter on the stand at Telford, I thought, I've got to have that. I've got to build that. I love it. I just fell in love with it. So I had to go out and measure the car before I decided to take it on, just to make sure I could transport it. And
I get the feeling you're still going to have to cobble together some kind of box-like wood case type thing to put it in, so it doesn't. When I did my 3 foot 72nd scale one, I used the actual lid from the box, or the cardboard box, but then I kind of jammed it with bubble wrap so I could put it in the box, because I drove it to the client in London that commissioned me for it. So I put it in there really carefully and like jammed it in, made sure nothing snaps off. So I can see you still having to cobble together some kind of carrying box, I think, for it there, Ted.
Yeah, yeah. When I used to build my ships, I always used to build a wooden transport box, and there were works of art in themselves on plywood and frames and everything like that, and all the tops screwed on, and you could just lower and lift your boat out, and it'd be ready to sail straight out of the box into the pond, and it would sail away. Yeah, so I will be building a box of similar proportions.
Tony Black does explain how you're going to transport it, and it's the best answer ever in Das Boot.
In Das Boot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old ones are the best. Boom, boom.
Dive.
Right. As we haven't run out of questions at the moment, should we do the mug giveaway?
Yes.
Mug giveaway.
I like the little tremolo at the end.
Yeah. Right, we'll do a mug giveaway, shall we?
Yay.
As always, it's going to be fastest fingers, really, things like that. I think
Have you got your fingers ready?
I've got my fingers ready. Yeah, I've got my fingers ready. And remember, it's the first person that appears on our screens. We had this thing about
42.
Yeah, wait for it. Wait for it.
Apparently the answer is Spitfire, so if you can tell your question to that, then Wattington will win.
Yeah, I'll give you the answer. What is the question? Oh, hang on, we've got another question. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do your question in a minute, Jamie. I forgot where.
These people sending us questions live. Cool.
It's working.
By the way, we forgot to mention at the beginning, if you're watching this on the eModels website, emodels.co.uk/live, and you want to join in the chat, just in the video player, hit the little YouTube button in the bottom right, and it'll pop you to the YouTube page where the chat is. So you can watch the stream on YouTube.
Yeah, some people have trouble finding us, but that's where we are. Little YouTube button, is it down here? Or is
it's kind of just down there.
It's along the bottom. It's along the bottom.
Where am I? It looks like I've got an enormous hand in this little.
Yeah, let's do the mug giveaway. And a question. Looking around the room. Right. Okay.
My question is, I've got a question. How hot is it with this jacket on?
Is it really this hot? Is it just me?
I've got a question.
MAP. MRAP. MATV. MRAP. What does that stand for?
I hope you know, Ted, because I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember. It's the first person to appear on our screens, because obviously, as we've explained, the ping on your set takes precedent over your comments.
Yeah, and your comment will kind of maybe appear sooner than it would normally, so we have to go off the first one that we see.
Yeah, so we are fair. I would try and share the screen with you. Maybe I can.
Mobile Road Attack Patrol, is that right? I don't know the answer. So
no.
Mine resistant.
There we go. Paul Stewart. Yes.
Mine resistant armored potato.
Mine resistant armored
potato. That's not the answer.
No, maybe he's not.
Mine resistant ambush protected. Is that right?
Mine resistant ambush protected. Kieran Gordon. Kieran Gordon. Yeah. Sorry, Paul, you missed out by potato, but thank you very much.
You're like, it's what it, no, it says potato, Ted. Ted, it says potato.
Right, let's pop the screen out and I'll just show.
Yes. Mine resistant ambush protected.
Where's it
going
going?
to screen share, Edward?
Yeah.
Have you got the chat popped out?
Kieran, I've got it popped out now, so I can just share the screen. He says somewhere. Hopefully the screen won't move.
It will move.
It will move. Oh no, I can't do it. Screen share.
I thought you had mastery of this technology, Edward.
Right, let's. No. Restore chat. Where's the chat gone now?
It's. I don't think you can share it.
Kieran Gordon. There it is. That's the first one that appeared for me. Paul Stewart said, mine resistant armored potato. And Kieran Gordon says, mine resistant ambush protected. There you go, Kieran. You're first on my screen to show that you are the winner. So just send your details to me, ted@emodels.co.uk.
Ted, before you stop your screen share,
yeah,
I'll back on that YouTube page. Just press pause because you're watching the stream while you're streaming the stream.
Yeah,
that's chewing your bandwidth up, dude.
Yeah, that's it. I'll get rid of it. There we go. We're back, I think. We're back. Yeah, so Kieran, send us your details to ted@emodels.co.uk and we'll get
your in the chat for him.
We'll get your mug off to you. But well done.
Yeah, I've put Ted's email address in the magical chat. Right, are we going to do what's in the store? Because I need to change hats now, don't I?
Yeah.
Right, we're going to do what's in the store. And I have to change hats. Because for this, I need to wear my 1943 American pilot cap. But it's actually a 1943 American pilot cap. It's not a baseball cap. It's a real proper vintage cap. So there you go. That should be a clue as to the kind of what we're going to be looking at now.
I just sending a little message over.
I need to duck my bill a bit more, I think. I shall read you what's on the label while Ted's doing that. It says, Cap Flying Summer. Type B1, size 7 3/8. Spec number 943095. Order number blah blah blah. Property of US Forces, Air Force, US Army.
So that gives us a clue about what's in store this week. Should we go across and have a look?
Yeah, it's German tanks all the way.
German tanks. Share the screen. Boo! There we go. That's what's in store this week. This week we're going to have a look at some of the aircraft.
Yes. Have you locked this to you, by the way, Ted? Can I talk freely?
Oh, right. Hang on. I'll go back and lock it up.
Wow, that's just Inception going on there.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Right, there we go. I think we're locked on now.
Yay.
So, yeah. So these have been asked because we always seem to be doing.
Somebody says I look like the bloke from Close Encounters. It's like I kind of do, don't
I? Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm just finding my research on these bits and pieces because I don't know a lot about aircraft. They are nice to build and they do look nice, especially this one. This is the.
They can be shiny. I know that, and they're kind of pointy.
Yeah, shiny, pointy, and lots of weapons and make great noises as they go through the sky. We often see aircraft of all nations low level through the lakes, and it's fantastic to see them. But this is the Tamiya 172 F-16 CJ Fighting Falcon with full equipment, a plastic model kit.
That means it comes with the microwave and everything. It's brilliant. The camp bed. Doesn't really come with a camp bed.
Yeah, everything's there.
It's not a sleeper cab.
Yeah. Now this one from Tamiya, and as we know with Tamiya kits, all Tamiya kits, whatever they are, they just go together. A dream. We usually no issues with them. Is there any pictures of this one? Yeah. Let's have a look at the pictures. That's the yeah, all the weapons, equipment, paint schemes. Looks like there's
funny looking tank, Ted. It's a funny looking tank.
Yeah, flighty things. But but just to please everybody, we're doing some aircraft this week.
Yeah, Mr. Lost Model Making says Tamiya aircraft are lovely. Unlike Revell, they do not require human sacrifice to get a good result. Also, true. Ted, well, I remember Ted. Smooth just asked if we've got any articulated lorries. There is actually one on the eModels website, so if we get a chance, we'll try and find it.
Yeah,
I think we were going to put it into our list tonight, and we forgot.
Yeah, well, we should. Maybe next week we can have a look at trucks and cars. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah,
some of them really build up quite nicely. And once again,
a nice canopy on there. I've got to say, that's a nice looking canopy.
Yeah, that's good. And some nice work. All the panel lines look well defined. Some good decals. The Tamiya decals are usually beyond reproach. And the next one, that's going to build up.
Tamiya polishing compounds on that canopy, and it'll come up like looking really lovely.
Yeah, so that's one of the paint schemes.
Okay, like it as well, because it's got more than like 5 decals. It's got appears to have many decals.
Yeah, somebody out there will probably be able to identify the unit that's attached to, but absolutely, I have no idea.
Space Police Fighter Squadron. Quite a few people have mentioned they quite like the canopy on it. It is a rather impressive looking canopy.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind though, obviously Tamiya models, the production shots are made by some crazily industrious Japanese model maker, and Japanese model makers have all the skill in the world. So your mileage may vary depending on your own modelling skill, obviously.
Yeah, these Japanese model makers have the ability to stop the heart from beating when they're painting fine details.
There is actually a Japanese model maker who I read in an interview. He actually slows his heart down when he's painting really small details. He can consciously slow his heart down. I'm like, just the best model makers in the world.
Yeah, how they can do it. Yeah. Patience. Yeah, but the detail in this model looks to be fantastic.
Can't go wrong with Tamiya.
Lovely little kit. Yeah, nice set of production photographs, and the cockpit. Lots of details in it. That actually looks resin.
It looks like resin.
It looks resin. It probably isn't because although it's a great price, it's probably not resin, but it does look like it. Oh, there it is.
That's 1/72 scale, because I was looking at those pictures thinking that's more like a 1/48 scale kit. But the detail on that is just phenomenal.
Right. Let's have a look at the next one. It's the UAD Profi Pack 1/72 scale Focke-Wulf.
I spelled my name wrong.
Did they?
Focke-Wulf. We'll get it. Never mind. Moving on.
Oh well. Is that 1x2? Is that 1x on 2 Fs or
all the X's and all the Fs?
All the Fs. It's a nice little plane. Now the UAD have a ton of aftermarket stuff, and I think eModels are selling some of the UAD aftermarket.
I think last time I looked, they had a lot of the photo etch sets going for various things. Edouard are very good at making they're well known for their photo etch add-on parts, as it were, and a lot of their kits are designed so that you can actually make use of their, I don't know if this, I'm guessing it's 12 quid, so it's probably not going to come with any photo etch, but they may well have packs of the third party of the Edouard parts to go with it. Have a look. There's certainly a lot of stuff out there, and that's a great little price for a UAD kit. 11.69. Let's have a look at some of the pictures if we can. Hopefully. Now the picture gefahren with looking and seeing.
It looks just like there's one sprue in there. Maybe 2 sprues.
It's a nice weekend kit, I think, that one.
Yeah, nice weekend.
I like the base. I like the bit. Is that a photo etch sprue? Bottom right?
Like I can't zoom into that.
Not that one, not the yellow one there.
Yeah.
That'd be phenomenal if it actually came with photo etch for 12 quid.
Right, sorry, I'm just sending a message to somebody. Right, that's that one. Clear parts.
Nice. I like that. Oh, that's for the propellers. I thought it was a display stand. It's not. It's the props, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you can paint the props so it looks like they're spinning. I'm guessing, or is it the stand?
I don't know what that is. I can't work that out. There's a few images.
Cool.
Put together.
As you can tell, we know our planes.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a variation of canopies. It looks like there's a different sets of canopies there.
Tony Black says it looks like it's got photo etch and masks. So potentially canopy masks and photo etch in a 12 quid kit. Why are you not buying it already? I mean, it looks like a really fun little sort of weekend kit.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, there's that one. We looked at the sprue. Yeah, a nice little weekend kit. Lots of decals for the size, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite phenomenal when you think of,
photo etch and mask.
Photo etch parts and mask in a £12 kit. I've got no words.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of other brands of model manufacturers who you can buy kits at 10, 11, 12 quid. And they don't come close to that. I'm not going to, obviously dwell on that, but.
Brilliant. Yeah, I might get one of them. I might get into aircraft building for that.
12 quid. Maybe not a weekend kit then. If you've got photo etch and all those decals, yeah, maybe a bit more than a weekend. Bank holiday build.
Right. Yep. Sorry, I'm just sorting out some secrets here.
Okay. David Barker says photo etch on a 1/72. Does it come with a microscope? No, but you can provide your own telescope.
Yeah, that's where you need to. That's where you'll need to go across to Japan to learn to slow your heartbeat down.
Yeah.
Now this one. Sorry, I'm just.
Junkers.
Junkers. Right focus. Schnellbomber. This is in a bigger scale, 1/48 scale. The Junkers Schnellbomber. That's quite
1/48 scale bombers. Get in.
1/48 scale bombers. That's going to be quite.
I like big bombers, and I cannot lie. Some of them will do that. Yeah, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no extra photographs of this one, of the kit inside, but with Dragon, you can't go much wrong with Dragon. Certainly a lot where the chap before speaking about his Halifax. Leaves lots of scope for weathering. Great little paint scheme, that.
The Northwest Modeler says, ooh. I think these planes are going down quite well in the chat here, Ted.
Yeah, I think they are. I think we must do some more. Yeah.
I remember I made a Junkers JU88 many years ago. I think it was 1/72 scale. I was about 13, and I made it, and I was going to give it a cool white and sort of patterned camouflage scheme, and it went a bit wrong, and I broke something. So what I did was I snapped a wing, bent the props, and got a piece of polystyrene and got a load of cooking flour and made a snowy landscape and made it crashed and covered in snow. And I was 13. It was brilliant. What I didn't know is that you can't just glue flour onto the base and not expect the flour to go a bit moldy after about 6 weeks.
Oh, well, your first foray into diorama.
Yeah, I was like 14, 13.
But once again, a Dragon 1/48 scale Junkers JU88, 44.99. That is saving a few quid on that one from eModels. The 10%. Again,
it's one of those things where it's like it's 45 quid, but it's a 1/48 scale bomber. It's huge. That's a really good. I don't do planes, but some of these planes, I'm tempted.
Right, let's have a look at the next one. Let's move on. And now this one. I think you commented before about what a fantastic box it was.
I don't know what this kit is. I have no interest in planes, but I want to buy this kit just because it's got sexy packaging. That's it.
Now another big kit, 1/48. 1/48. Have you got any pictures of this one? No, unfortunately, there's no build pictures or what's inside the box on this one. 1/48 Northrop P-61A Black Widow with ground attack weapons and drop tanks.
It does make me wonder sometimes. The tradition is to put a painting of the thing you're making on the box, but sometimes just occasionally you get a company where they just do a nice design of box that isn't all a classical painting of something, and it just makes the model stand out. You think, I need to buy that.
I've seen people that actually keep the boxes, or they keep the fronts of the boxes, the box art, and they either frame them or they keep them in a scrapbook. Because that's one thing about Airfix. They have some fantastic box art.
And not to go back to Gunpla again, but a lot of people do that with Gunpla kits because the box art's really good.
Lovely look.
But yeah, it's nice when somebody does a design like it sounds weird to go on about the packaging of a model because the packaging is irrelevant, but it's just such a nice change because that to me is just taking the money out of my wallet. I don't care what the model is. It's like, ooh, it looks premium and exciting. And why am I walking out of the shop with it? Hello. I wish more manufacturers did that.
Now I understand from my sources that Great Wall Hobby is one of the best kit aircraft manufacturers out there. So it's probably one of these. It looks like a dark, mysterious box. What's inside it? I bet it's hiding all the secrets.
Yeah,
they're just giving you a taste of what's
like you
inside.
open that and you expect it to be all the parts in like solid gold or something.
It looks classy in the box, doesn't it?
David Barker says, because I was saying even I'd be tempted by a plane. I haven't seen some of these. David Barker says, Fox, make a Revell plane. It will kill you and you will never think about building another. I've done that.
Right. And last one here. Something different. We'll go away from aircraft now because we've done them all. Is this? It's Mobius. It's just something different. Somebody mentioned trucks and cars before. The 1952 Hudson Hornet. Now, I showed this to Fox earlier, and he suggested what would be ideal for this would be something that's just left in the back of a scrapyard. Just wheels off, or flat tires, just sort of suspension all dropped, paintwork and bodywork sort of all rusted up.
Because I looked at that and the first thing I thought was, all those chrome parts. Then I thought, but if you're going to be weathering it, if you're making like a rat rod or you're making a junker, that'd be brilliant. You get, because you don't worry about the chrome plated parts. You can weather them up. You can strip it off and repaint them. That'd be nice. So that would be a brilliant rat rod or junk car. I love things like that, old vintage cars like that, because you can just junk them up.
Yeah, I think that would be great because, as the Fox, you say yourself, there's lots of plasticky chrome on there.
Yeah, and there's no point making any bones about it. We all know how bad chrome plated parts are. You can strip it off and repaint it. You can get it to look pretty good, but you'll probably never get it looking quite as good as the actual chrome plating looks. That's the one thing about chrome plated parts. They're a swine to work with, but damn, they look good. There are ways to get around it, but if you're going to make it a junker, like I did with the transit van.
David Barker said you could scratch build this into Doc Hudson from Cars. Yeah, I remember that. The kids' film Cars.
I'm denying all knowledge of such films.
It looks generally.
Yes, I'm guessing that's what Doc Hudson was based on, being a Hudson. But yes. But you see, it's back in the days when cars were designed so that if you did crash, you wouldn't worry about being thrown around the car because you'd be impaled on the steering column and die instantly. So,
so that's a Hudson Hornet. Just something a little bit different.
And that's what the box looks like if it gets shipped by Yelp. Wait, no, Yodel. Sorry, not Yelp. Yodel.
Yodel. Stood on the box.
No, Yodel. Don't start me on Yodel.
Yep. We've done the rest. Let's come back, and we'll come back while I go on about focus again. There we go. There we are. The sharing. We're both on the screen again. Give me a second while I go and do something secret in the background. And have a look for something. It might be a bit of a surprise. It might be a bit of an announcement to make.
Okay. Right. In that case, I'll have a look at the stashes on the stash. No, look at the chat even. And see what's going on. Sergeant Bone says he's building a Revell kit right now, hating it, but it does expand one's abilities. Yes. Sometimes you get what's the phrase? Something through adversity. I can't remember the phrase, but yes. Sometimes you have to give yourself a challenge, and sometimes a really chunky kit is actually a good way to do it. You say, right, how good can I make this? It's a terrible thing. Let's have a look. Mr. Loth's model making. When we were showing the rather sexy black packaging for, I've no idea what the model was because I was too busy looking at the packaging. Mr. Loth says, "Oh my God, stop! I want that. Ever since the Revell P61 sneaked itself into my stash, I wanted a decent brand one. They're amazing." Yeah. Let's have a look. Great Wall make great model, says Northwest Modeler. Rody Hobby says Ted doing a gumpler and Fox doing a tank. Yeah, that's dogs and cats. That's not going to happen. Actually, no, it might do. Oh, I'm still trying to get Ted to do a Warhammer Baneblade tank. But every time I say that, he runs away. So So I might do a tank at some point. Warhammer do tanks. Also, there is a Gunpla tank. There is a Gundam tank. Not a gun tank, but it's a tank from the Gundam series. It's got 2 barrels. It's a normal tank, and I'll try and get one of those. So you might see me do a tank yet, and it'll still be Gundam. Proper glue kit. Ron Max says he has an. Oh, sorry, Ted, go on.
Yeah, go on. I'm back.
Ron Max says he has an Airfix book with the old artwork, and it is great to look at, especially when there is a bit of action and smoke coming out of the plane. Normally the German one. Yeah, that's the correct way to do it. Smoke's always coming from the Messerschmitt, not from the Spitfire. Go on, Tedward.
Right.
You have secrets and dark confessions.
I have secrets. I have had phone call. Well, I've had a text of somebody who shall remain nameless, and we can do a giveaway.
Ooh.
We can do not one giveaway.
Oh yes.
We can do 2 giveaways.
Well, even I didn't know that.
Even I didn't know that. You see, you've got to keep watching to the end of the show, because
you got to stick around, because some days, some people might be feeling generous. Bring more kits.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. You stick to the end. And
okay, I'm going to share the screen with you, and we'll show you what's going to be given away this week. Share the screen. Sharing the screen. Share. We're going to give this one away. Oh, hang on, I'll come back to you in a minute, Fox, and I can lock it on so we don't. So you can chat away. We're going to give the Hudson Hornet away.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. So you could.
I'd be painting short mounts on it. You know that.
You can have a go at that weathering, or you can do. Or for you car guys out there, you can do a nice shiny car kit. Or there is this one. How about that? It's a bit of armour. Going back to a bit of armour, but I've had a full call. We can give one of these away as well. And look at the price.
We get a bit of armour in there, Ted. Always.
Yeah, we've got to get a bit of armour in. But yeah, £40 worth of kit to give away. And this is the Matilda tank from Tamiya.
Can't beat a Tamiya tank.
Separate link.
Oh, it's got individual links.
Individual link tracks, yes.
It's a modern. Is that a reasonably new release then? Because in the old days, Tamiya was rubber track jobs. Heated screwdriver and the
so this is. Hang on, I'll just get the.
I guess it's a reasonably recent release.
This is a new release and they're awesome. And that tank is now sold out at Tamiya UK. So eModels have got this in, and your chance to win it. Now then, we're going to have to sort out how we can get 2 winners, one each.
The way we discussed, Ted, the way.
Yeah, we could do it. Would that pick 2 winners out?
Just do it twice.
Do it twice. Right. What we can do then, if you would like to win the Matilda Mark II, Mark IV Red Army tank.
Now you need to pay attention now, because this is where we get a bit complicated.
Yeah, you need to go back to the YouTube, the eModels YouTube site, page. Finding it. It's on there. Okay,
well, if they're on the page now, because they're watching the stream, aren't they? So that's just on that.
Yeah, if you're already in the stream, if you're already in YouTube and the chat and everything else, I don't want your answer in the chat. I've lost it. Never mind. I've lost the Matilda. Yeah. I've lost the Matilda tank. Sorry, everybody. I've lost the Matilda.
Right.
If you want to find the Matilda,
do you want to try and find it, Ted, and I'll explain it. Do you want to?
Yeah, go on then. You find. I'll stop sharing the screen and I'll come back to you.
Okay, this is how it's going to work, folks. If you're on YouTube watching the stream, when we ask the questions, don't put your answer in the chat. We don't want it in the chat. What we want you to do is actually add an honest to goodness old-fashioned comment on the page where the stream is. So like you'd add a comment to a YouTube video normally, put your answer in a comment. If you're watching this on the eModels website, so emodels.co.uk/live, then you can still join in, just like we said before, where you're watching the stream. At the bottom of the screen, down here somewhere, it should say the little YouTube logo. Click on that and it will take you to YouTube where you can watch the stream, and it's there. You need to put a comment on the page. So it's not in the chat, it's a normal comment. Are we going to ask a question, or is it just a...
Yeah, I think if you want to win the tank, you just should say, thanks eModels tank.
Or gimme, or anything you can think of that's not rude.
Yeah, as long as it's got the word tank in it.
Yeah, so just put a normal, good old-fashioned clockwork comment on the page where the live stream is, the YouTube page that you're on watching the live stream. And if you're on the website, on the eModels website, click on the YouTube icon down there. It will take you to the page where the YouTube page where you can put your comment. And what we're going to do for these kind of giveaways, we can't do the who's going to type their answer first in chat, because as you know, sometimes it can lag out and you think you've come first, but you've not. What we're going to do is, whenever we give everybody a little bit of time, and when the time is up, we will run the thing through a page and it will pick 2 comments at random. We'll show you how we do it so you can see it's completely kosher. So we'll say from now, how long are we going to give them, Ted? What do you reckon?
Well, it's 26 now. Should we give them 4 minutes to 10:30?
Yeah, give them 5 minutes. Let's round it up to 5.
Okay, 10 at 10:31.
Yep, you've got 5 minutes to put your comment on this page where the YouTube stream is. So again, it's just like commenting on a normal YouTube video. And if you're on the eModels website, click the little YouTube icon, and that'll take you to the YouTube page where you can put your comment. So everyone can win. We haven't tested this, so there's always a good chance this won't work at all. We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed.
Somebody said they can't comment. The comments are locked. Hang on.
That could be interesting.
Ah.
Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Well, that's not right. Don't play. No, thank you. eModels. Can't comment on the live stream. Oh, okay. That's kind of gone a bit wonky then, hasn't it? Can't comment on the live stream. Interesting.
Yeah,
hey, folks, hang on for 1 moment while we try and figure this out then. We didn't plan for that.
No. I'm not sure where it's all gone wrong then. We should have a live stream.
Let's have a look. Can't comment on a live stream. Okay, that's gone a bit sideways in that case. Ooh.
We will have to go back to...
Okay, we'll have to go back to the old-fashioned way then and show it on screen. What we'll try and do next time then, folks, is we'll try and see if it's possible to actually get comments on the live stream page and do it the way we're going to do it. We're going to do it through a random comment picker. Well, you see, we're learning as well. Plan B, as Tony Black would say. So plan B in that case is, yes, we'll have to ask a question and go for the fastest finger, and we'll show you who wins, I think.
Yeah, we'll find a question.
TK does suggest a random number generator, but that's far too complex and involved.
Yeah, we do have a random number generator, but it does take ages to get a result from that.
Yeah, and it's very complicated and fiddly, and
yeah, if we had more people sort of in with us, we could do that, but it just doesn't seem to work. So, well, the Tamiya Matilda tank.
Yes, in that case, we shall ask some questions.
Let me find a question. Can you
I shall do a question. I shall do a question. This is for the Tamiya Matilda tank. Every time I hear the name Matilda, I think of a film. What film am I thinking of? Matilda.
Go.
Yep, go. Fastest finger. Egg. Green. No, not green.
I remember it's the one that appears on our screen first.
Yeah, TK, it wouldn't be hard, but we're live now and we haven't got time to start planning it and figuring it out in the middle of a live stream, unfortunately. Matilda, so come on, what film? I'm thinking, oh, there we go. On my screen, I've got Arbor Pendragon, Leon.
Yep.
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 Do you want to show that on screen, Tedward?
I'll try. Where did I find it before?
You have to go back to the page. As you can see, we plan these things very well. Yes, we haven't got time in the middle of a live stream, unfortunately, to start trying to set up random number generators. We were hoping the comment thing would work. We didn't plan for it not actually working, so yeah.
I can't find the video now. Hang on, I'll be with you in a moment, folks. Oh, dear.
Just go to the eModels YouTube page. Yeah. It should be right up there. We'll just share this on screen, and we'll do the next one. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? There may be technical difficulties, but they're professionally done.
We will get that. Come on, YouTube. Yeah, I've had to come over. Yeah. Pop the screen up. Sorry, I would just pop up chat. Sorry, I've got the chat up. I'm just looking for the Pendragon's answer now.
Oh, you've got to try and find it, haven't you? Oh, that's the point. If I can share.
There we go. I found it.
Oh, lovely.
Share the screen.
Matilda.
Ooh, it's done it again.
Inception going on.
It's down there somewhere. Arthur Pendragon, Leon. Can you see that?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Arthur Pendragon, Leon.
That's the first one on our screen. So congratulations, Albert. You get yourself the Matilda.
Yeah, send your send your details to me at ted@emodels.co.uk. Thank you. Sorry about the confusion here.
Yes, that all went a bit to pot there, folks. Do apologise for that.
Yeah,
I didn't realise that you can't stick a comment on a live stream until it's live. Finished. Yeah, it didn't work out. We all did it. We'll plan something better for next time.
We'll sort something out. We will have a look at the number generator thing, but as I say, it's just hard to administer just when there's the two of us. And we'll try.
Yeah, can't do it right now. We're in the middle of the live stream, unfortunately. So
now we've got to have a question for the Morbius.
Yes. Right, ready yourselves, people, with your fastest finger while we trying to think of a question. Okay, so I've got one for you.
Oh, go on then.
Somebody mentioned that the Hudson. All I can think when I think Hudson is Hudson Hawk. The Hudson looked like a character from Cars. So my question is, and it's the only thing I know about Cars that I can say is definitely correct. What's the name of the main character in Cars? The main hero character. What's he called? And I hope I've got the answer right from memory. What's the main hero character? He's not called TK Mug. No, that's definitely not right. Cars one. There we go.
Stewart.
Yeah, Paul Stewart straight in.
Paul Stewart. Yeah, right.
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning McQueen. Right. I'll
just beat Ant by one comment.
Screen share.
I don't think mods can take part in the competition though, unfortunately, but yes. Or they're not eligible to win, but yes.
I've got the wrong chat. That one. There we are. Go back up. There is Paul Stewart, Lightning McQueen. Oh, yeah. We did it. We got through that bit.
That all went horribly wrong.
Well, we got there in the end.
Our lovely viewers that live streams are real good. Well, live streams are real good fun to do, but when something goes wrong, it really goes wrong. It's like when the newsreader's auto cue fails and he's on national TV, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, it's like rabbit in headlights. So yeah, apologies.
Yeah, I do apologise for that, and as well with the two giveaways that totally threw us. But
yes, because we didn't know about those.
Yeah, thank you to.
We'll see if we can sort someone out next time. If we can't sort something out, we'll just do it like we have here, fastest finger. But we'll show you on screen that is the first one we've seen. So at least you know we're not just picking a name out of random. It's not ideal, but it works.
Yeah.
So yes, Paul, make sure to send a mail to Tedward. I'll put the email address in there. eModels.co.uk. I'll put the email address in the chat for you again, everybody.
Yeah. Got that. Yeah. So, but thank you for everybody joining in. Obviously, if you
Paul Stewart says it was his grand plan to get the car by using trickery.
Yeah. Now remember,
shenanigans. I call shenanigans.
Yeah. Now remember terms and conditions. If you've won a mug or if you won a prize, we want a picture sent in to us at eModels. eModels.co.uk. Send us your picture if you proudly holding your prize or your mug, full or otherwise. Send them in and we'll get them posted. Great to see you. Right, is that about it for tonight? I don't know. Is there any more questions out there? I'm just checking my phone to see if there's any more.
Yeah, before we wrap it up, perhaps anybody got any more questions?
Yeah,
TK says last time TK was the answer to everything. This thing is rigged. TK saying that.
Right, hold on. Yeah, a couple of questions came in. Jamie Bourne, who sent us. No, he didn't. Jamie Bourne.
Are we backing out of that one quickly?
Yeah. Jamie Bourne, he said another quick question. How would you or Fox do a whitewash camouflage on a 1/35th scale M10 tank destroyer and an M8 Greyhound from Tamiya?
I know how I do it, but I don't know how you do it. I know how you do it. I think you do it the same, but
yeah, I did the whitewash on the Panzer tank, and for the life of me, I can't think how I did it. I think you can't. There's various. I'll try to find them.
Can you just use chipping fluid and then white acrylic?
Yeah, that's it really.
Which is what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, I think I did have some white, sort of. No, I can't find it. I can never find it. Let's see. Yeah,
I couldn't possibly grab mine because it's behind me, and my headphones will come off, and it'll all go wrong, and I'll break.
Yeah, well, I spun around last week and pulled all the cables. A whitewash, a thin whitewash over a chipping fluid, hairspray, anything like that, and then just wash it off as just like chipping. Well, yeah, just heavy chipping. Use the heavy chipping fluid from AK, and don't put neat white paint on. But water it down a little bit just to give it that washed off look. It depends how much of a wash you want to do, whether it's be freshly washed or it's been out in the field for a few weeks, months, and it's generally washed off, because whitewashing was generally just that, just a white washed tank. Wasn't particularly paint, just painted.
It was just a temporary colour change, wasn't it? I was going to say the same thing, chipping fluid, but what I did was with mine, I chipping fluid and then I just airbrushed the white paint over the top. And you can get different sizes of chipping by using more or less chipping fluid. And I always get this wrong. If I remember rightly, the more chipping fluid you use, the smaller the chips. Or it could be the other way around. I'm not 100% sure. It's one of those dark arts that I can never remember. It's like microsol and microset. I always get mixed up. So have a practice on something first. If you're doing it by airbrush, chipping fluid. And the trick is, and if you watch, because I use the MIG, Ammo by MIG stuff, and it's really good, but none of the videos by Ammo by MIG tell you exactly how to do it. And what I learned was, get the chipping fluid on there, airbrush it on, and as soon as it's dry, get the paint on. And then as soon as the paint's dry, you just get your paintbrush or your toothbrush or some kind of scrubby device, and you can just get some, say you've got a panel, cover the panel in water, give it 30 seconds for the water to soak through the paint, and then get your toothbrush or your brush or whatever, stipple brush, and just work away at it. And the way it works is similar to hairspray. The water soaks through the paint, dissolves the chipping fluid because it's water soluble, and the chipping fluid comes away and takes the paint with it, and that's how it works.
Yep, that's a final question, and I've just been looking for the answer for Vincent de Kim. He asks a question of can we recommend a tank carrier that would work for his 1/35th scale APC? Big
Dragon do one. I think Dragon do one.
I've just had a look through the eModels website, and I can't for the life of me think which it was. I've tried searching tank carriers, but it doesn't seem to come up. So it may be that it's just out of stock.
Yeah, I think I've seen a Dragon one.
Yeah.
Or is it actually called the Dragon? I could be wrong. It could be called something like a Dragon.
Yeah.
And that could be a World War II. I'll shut up. My advice is useless.
I'm sure our guys in chat will tell us which one it was. I just can't think of it. I know that there was quite a few of them doing the rounds at Telford, but it's just completely slipped my mind. I'll have to get towards the end of the night now. But sorry, Vince. If I do remember which one it is, I've got your email, and I will email you back and send you a link to it, but it should suit you for what you need.
David Barker very bizarrely says Fox needs the loo. I don't know why. Am I fidgeting? I can't sit still. I can never sit still. If I look like I'm probably wiggling my leg or something. I always do that. I don't need the loo.
Right.
David Barker also says talk about flowing streams because obviously he thinks I need the loo. Trust me, I'm sweating so much. I don't need to go to the loo for about 3 days. I'm sweating so much right now.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
Oh, here we go. Gatso75 says the Dragon Wagon by Tamiya. Yes, that's where I got Dragon from. There was a tank carrier called the Dragon Wagon.
Yeah,
that's a Tamiya kit.
Yeah, there is something out there. I'm just going to think what it was. I don't think it was cheap.
The Dragon Wagon by Tamiya.
Yeah. Right.
That's where I got Dragon from.
Right. I think we've done everything for tonight. We've gone on nearly an hour and 3/4 now.
Yay! I'm just having a quick whiz through the.
Just having a little.
By the way, if I'm not looking at the camera much tonight when I'm talking, I apologise. It's because I'm either looking at Ted or I'm looking at the chat. So I keep trying to remember to look at the camera, talk directly to you lovely people, but I forget because I keep getting caught up in the chat.
Yeah, it looks like I've got everybody's address for the prize winners tonight. So thank you all very much and well done.
One question that came up. I can't remember, where is it? Somebody asked about how to do any tips for airbrushing varnish from the Terrain Tutor if it's a gloss. It's kind of been answered in the comments, but yes, Mr. Lost Model Making says do a light coat for stickiness and then a thick coat and wick away any beads. I tend to do one mist coat as a key coat to make the surface sticky, blast it with some air from the airbrush for say 10 to 15 seconds, go in with a heavier coat, give it some air from the airbrush for 10 or 15 seconds, go in with a heavy coat, and that's all I usually do. But the key is that first, just very light misty coat that almost is invisible, just so it gives the second coat something to stick to and help it level out. The same, you can do the same for matte coats as well. It always helps to kind of, matte coats you probably want to build up in light misty coats all the way, because that you're not looking for a glossy surface there.
Right, TK's comments about water running in the background reminds me that I need the loo.
See, it wasn't me, it was Tedward all the time. I don't need the loo. I say I won't be going to the loo for about a week now after wearing it.
So on that note, I think we'll wrap it up for this evening for another successful eModels live stream giveaway. And I'm out of focus again.
Always
out of focus. I'm not really out of focus, it's just me, I'm fuzzy all over.
It's age, Ted. It's age.
It's age. Yeah, you get edges start to go fuzzy. But thank you.
Well, I've got some important information just come through on the wire. Oh no, Twitter updated their privacy policy. It's not that important. Sorry.
Right. Yes. Strange messages tonight. We get messages that we can give things away. That can't be.
Getting voices from the gods.
Voices from the gods.
The boss isn't in, but he has the all-seeing eye.
Yeah, he's around somewhere. I better go find my tie.
No, as long as you've got your tie on in spirit.
It's only my trousers up.
What, you're wearing trousers? Oh, damn it.
Right, time to go.
Time
to go, everybody. It's Fox. Yes. Say good night so I can press this button and go to the loo.
Good night, go to the loo.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you all again, and we'll see you all next week for some more surprises and maybe some more surprise giveaways. Bye, everybody.
Tap,
bye.
Dripping tap, running water, dripping tap, running water, drip,
I'm going to
drip,
press the button.
drip.
I'm going to press the button and press the button. I can't press the button. I'm wiggling my feet. Pressing the button. Stop broadcasting.
Ted, you're in